Anastasia Feinberg, attorney and founder at Legacy Law Group, Colorado, and today I want to talk to you about rental properties and real estate overall and how that plays into your estate plan. So primarily, when we work with clients who are creating revocable living trusts for themselves and their families, we're looking at funding their major assets into their trust first and foremost, and that usually includes real estate. So for primary residences, we're going to basically create a warranty deed and record that into your trust to make sure that your primary residence doesn't have to enter probate when you die, and that your successor trustee can sell it or pay it off or let your loved ones live in it, whatever the scenario is that's written out in the revocable living trust. But then we also have a lot of clients these days that own rental properties, real estate, either in Colorado or in other states such as Florida or California, just to name a few of the popular ones. So what do you do when you have more than one property? How do you make sure that that's not going to go to probate and that will pass down to your loved ones in the most efficient way possible? So first, the thing to consider in here is that if you have real estate that's not in the state of Colorado or not in the state of your primary residence, then you're basically risking probate in two states, two or three or however many, because real estate is governed by the laws of the state where real estate is located and not by the state where the owner lived and died. So if you created a revocable living trust in Colorado, you want to make sure that your Florida or your Arizona or your California property is also recorded into that revocable living trust. So what we do is that we contact each county where you have real estate and we work with them to make sure we have a properly drafted warranty deed to make sure the ownership is recorded into your Colorado trust and your loved ones are avoiding probate in multiple states. And then another thing, another layer that kind of comes into play when we talk about rental real estate is liability protection. So why would you want to limit liability for your rental properties? Say something goes wrong with the rental property. There's a flood or there's, somebody injures themselves. Well, if you have insurance on that property, great, hopefully they'll cover some of it. What we have seen happen in a lot of the cases is that the insurance will cover the claim, but then they will try to subrogate from the owner, and that means that the insurance will go after your personal assets if the insurance claim was related to negligence or recklessness of whoever got injured on the property or of the owner themselves. So if you fall asleep or your renter falls asleep in a tub and they flood the entire apartment unit, the insurance is going to cover the damage, but they will subrogate from you because the insurance doesn't cover negligence or recklessness of the owners. So how do you protect yourself from that subrogation claim? Well, that's really the reason why you would create limited liability companies for all of your rental properties. What that does is that it puts every rental property that you own into a limited liability company that becomes its own separate legal entity, and the liability can only extend to the extent of the assets that are kept inside of that company, which is really typically that one property. What that means is that if the insurance tries to go after the owner of the company, they can only sue you for the extent of whatever that rental property is worth. And they can't go after your personal residence, your businesses, your investments, your bank accounts, and whatever other assets that you have outside of that rental property. So creating an LLC is a good way to make sure that you're not taking on any potential liability and not stretching it to your personal assets that are outside of that one rental property. Another discussion that we go into after we set up these LLCs for our clients is, well, how do you make sure that your LLC is properly owned by your trust? And that's why it's very important to work with an attorney who knows what they're doing as far as not only creating that limited liability protection while you're living, but also making sure that that limited liability company is going to be passed down to your loved ones without any court or conflict involved. So if you're interested in learning more about how to protect yourself from liability for potential claims arising out of your rental real estate, and also how to make sure that you're avoiding probate in multiple states, and also how to make sure that all of the limited liability companies you may have set up already are properly owned and accounted for in your estate plan, then give us a call for a complimentary family wealth planning session where we can spend up to an hour with you for free discussing the different strategies that we can implement for you to make sure that all of your real estate is securely protected, that you are not taking on any liability, and that also you're making sure that your real estate will be passed down to your loved ones in the smoothest and most time efficient manner possible. So give us a call today, 303-954-9428, and set up that complimentary family wealth planning session.